Today I'll show you how to avoid this and achieve this finish, alongside everything you need to know about paint dilution for different paint styles and techniques. But for now, let's focus on base coating, starting with what we're actually looking to achieve. The back of my hand is perfect to showcase this. As you can see, not only does this application provide proper coverage, but the small ridges in my hand are still visible. That's what we're looking for. In contrast to an undiluted mix which, while opaque, obscures those little ridges or would-be details of our models. Paint that's too diluted won't obscure detail, but it's too transparent and the color underneath shows through. Let us now move to the palette and see how to get our paint to this. Keeping the paint in a bead or drop will make it last longer than if we were to spread it. Most painters will pull the paint they'll use from the drop and incorporate water to it, creating a small pool of dilute paint next to the drop. If the paint is too thick, more water can be added to this little side pool, or if too diluted, we can pull fresh paint from the drop to thicken the mix. You'll eventually be able to tell when you've reached the correct consistency. A good visual indicator that you're getting close to it is just when paint begins to retract a little as you spread it. But until then, checking against your hands or a texture palette will suffice. There is also the fact that some paints will be at base coat consistency out of the pot. But in order to avoid obscuring the recesses, it'll all be a matter of properly spreading the paint, as well as removing excess paint from the brush before moving to the model, as I previously explained in my brush control video. With the basics out of the way, let's take a deeper look according to the style or technique you wish to apply. What we've seen so far applies for base coats, the initial layer of paint to block out the general color of the area. For dry brushing, as the name suggests, no dilution will be required, as most of the paint will be removed from the brush in order to exploit the model's texture to catch only the raised details. Layering is very similar to base coating, though we are preferably looking to have a slight transparency in our mix. So the coats of paint that will get layered, as the name suggests, can build up taking a bit of what's underneath, in order to achieve a better blend. Both washes and glazes are on the transparent side, and there is no rule that says that one has to be more opaque than the other. It'll depend on what you're looking to achieve. The difference between them lies in the amount of water at the time of application. The more water on our mix, the more runny the paint will be, which a wash exploits to get into the recesses and concentrate its pigments on them. When glazing, on the other hand, most of the water gets pulled out of our brush before moving to the model, allowing for a controlled and even application of the same transparent mix. But do have in mind that the ratio of water to paint for each technique will vary depending on brand and color, and only experience will truly tell how much or little water each paint in your collection requires to achieve a certain objective. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, you can always help me out by leaving a like or sharing it with a friend. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll be answering them within a day. Special thanks as always to my patrons who provide their extra support each month.